Hey guys, this is Tower Vape. This is kind of like a different perspective of what's going on my desk here. This I will explain in a little while. Basically, let's talk about what happened the past 2 days, meaning February 12th to 13th, 2013. First thing I'm going to do is talk about a little story that happened to me last night. Because of a few little mishaps that happened on the Mod Traders forum, specifically with one vendor, I accidentally put myself in a co-op for a product that was completely unrelated to a drip tip that I was trying to buy. I was having problems obtaining paying for the drip tip because there was a problem on the vendor's site. He was correcting that, but at the same time I saw this other post that was talking about a 20 unit only, co-op to get this attachment for your Gus telescopic mod or whatnot. Anyway, one thing led to another. I managed to pay for the drip tip. Maybe 2-3 hours later, I saw an invoice coming in, and I paid it thinking it was for a co-op that I was in. But then after further inspection, realized that it was for the co-op I accidentally signed myself up for. I don't know if anybody's made this mistake before, but it was a completely dirt moment for me. And I did contact the vendor. He was really cool with me, and he did refund my money. Saw how I could have made the mistake because I was going for another product of his the same night, and there was no harm, no foul. But the moral of my story is kind of pertains also to what happened with the scam Pink Spot Vapors email that went around to pretty much most of the hardcore vapors out there. And the message is clear. Read through everything before you act upon it. When it comes to an email, it could be a contract, it could be insurance policy, whatever. Just read through it. Don't just assume right away that it's coming from your quote-unquote, favorite vendors or whatnot. Because even sometimes the most ridiculous requests, some people may go through with it blindly just because they think it's coming from the vendor. Hopefully, what happened this morning, and I guess for myself, because of what I did last night, I learned a valuable lesson. Read through everything. It may protect you in the end. If something doesn't sound right, what do? You make a copy of the email or something that's discretionary that you're not sure of, and email the person that's supposedly in charge of the task that you're doing. Or emailing the guy who you thought was sending you an email. Then you'll know for sure. Simple as that. Some of the PVs that I used in the past day, I'll just run that down real fast, is I used my KVS Storm a little bit, have it set up with a Phoenix up top, set up with a low-res coil. I think I have just a 1.8 ohm coil in there. I also use my my bolt, and I'll get to why I use my bolt a lot later. I also use this bolt. This is the actual bolt that I use because this is a low-res Addy. The other one has a standard resistance Addy, and I have one kind of juice in it. So, and I was using my Vapor Lux from Base of Vapes. And as far as juices that I was vaping, besides the amount of juices that I've vaped from this one specific vendor, I'll pretty much show them to you. See, I vaped some Honeydew from Zeus's E-Juice. I'll put it up there. You can see that. It's hard. I don't have autofocus. My bad. Also vaped some Peachberry by Delaware Vapor. I vaped some Banana Pudding from the Plume Room. Let's see. I vaped some Burley and Candy from the Plume Room. And I also vaped some Candy Cavendish from the Plume Room. Just a few drips here and there. And I also vaped, of course, Camel, the Patriot line from Totally Wicked. So that's pretty much it. Doesn't sound like a lot of E-Juice that I vape, but considering the amount of E-Juice I vape from Ginger's E-Juice, hell yeah, that's a lot. And let's see, let's talk about some of the shows that I've seen. Like I saw the replay from Nicked Out with Dagger and Frank. Although I don't think Frank was there for the part that I saw, because the portion that I did see that was pretty interesting was when Dagger was going over to the Killer 705 Addy, or quote unquote Addy Carter or whatever, and that was pretty awesome. Um, Uncle Dagger is smart as hell, and he knows his shit. So if there's a show with him on, I would highly suggest watching it, or at the very least catching the replay. He has a lot of good information. I also saw Flitzanu over at VPV. I pretty much go to his Flissy show every week. He knows that, and he's a friend of mine in the community. Righteous dude. We're into a lot of the same music, stuff like that. Also saw Jesse, who teamed up with FTV Vapor for the first time over on the Edge. And let me tell you, I don't know, they meshed pretty well. It was a pretty good show. I saw parts of that also. I also saw parts of the Dave show on Quest, because Dave is a cool dude. He's half of the Dumb show. He usually does with Gothic Vash on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Also, Chris LESD did his show in VapeNet, which I did catch parts of, because he's a pretty cool dude. I like him too. And the reason why his show is kind of interesting is because it's kind of coming from a different perspective. He talks about vaping, but sometimes he also talks about real life issues. Like current events issues pertaining to what he has either read or have witnessed. So it's good to listen to it from his perspective. And of course, I saw I guess DJ Cheesy was doing a roundtable through a Google Hangout, so it gave a lot of either other hosts or viewers of the show a chance to hop on and talk about something specific. It could be something advanced like coiling, to something simple like accessorizing your PV. In this case, for me, I accessorized my bolt. One of my bolts, I have 3 bolts, by the way. One of my bolts with R2D2 wrap that I got from J-Raps. That shit looks tight, right? That is beautiful. Let's see. That's pretty much it. Some more info on my quote-unquote first review video, even though it's not really a review video, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I get to that. When I do upload that, you guys will notice it on my Facebook page. So please come back to my Facebook page at facebook.com/Tower of Vape, and my domain will hopefully be up soon. That would be towervape.com. I'll let you know as that comes closer. And thanks a lot. Have a good evening.